Rich Lerner, the host of the Golf Channel, joining me here once again on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Rich?
I'm doing well, Rich. And, what do you want to do for Father's Day, honey? Not be bothered.
That's true.
Watch TV for, 18 hours.
Just leave me alone.
U.S. Open followed by Game 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then the game.
By the way, Landry grew up at a little 9-hole course in Grove, Texas. It's sort of pin-cup-ish, called the P Patch, and that's PEA, not PEE.
Okay.
Although that would work too if you've golfed, Yeah, we go there once in a while. Us men, don't we? Speaking
Yes.
of fathers.
We call that a nature moment for sure.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's U.S. Open. I mean, McIlroy shot 77, 7 over. Everybody loved McIlroy going in.
Wow.
Fowler shot 76. Day's on his way to shooting maybe 78. I don't know, unless he rescues this. Mickelson just birdied 18, but then went bogey. It's he who bleeds the least wins. Although with a softer golf course, we're seeing a few more lower scores than I thought than we had anticipated. Dustin Johnson right back in at 3 under through 14 holes, and so here we go again with Dustin Johnson. Was a big central figure last year, obviously.
So what's with Day, McIlroy, and Fowler? What happened here?
It's a good question. I mean, it's just the U.S. Open. It will expose whatever weakness you might have on a given day. And so, McIlroy's putting poorly. His wedge game is spotty at best. And if you're offline just a bit with your tee ball, you pay a huge price. The rough, is really thick and it's wet and nasty. And so, Day's been offline. Fowler's game hasn't been good for the last month or so. And, are they out of it? No, but they're close to it, and they need to come back with something really special in round number 2. They need something on the order of a 67 or a 68 to jump back into it. I still think when all is said and done, the winning score is probably going to be a couple over par. This is going to dry out. We're going to some warm weather, some sunshine, and Spieth too is over par, but he's in much better shape.
He's in touch
with the leaders. He's at 2 over 72.
So, Rich, the weather looks nice based on what I'm seeing on the tube. So, how many players do you think will be through the second round? We're probably going to have some players out there tomorrow finishing round 2, right?
Yeah, without complicating it for your audience right now, what will happen is the guys like Mickelson and Day and Dustin Johnson will go right back out, and they will have a very long day. They'll have a good chance to finish 36 holes today. But guys like Spieth will have to go back out tomorrow to play their second round. And presuming they make the cut, they'll go back out and play some more golf. They'll play that third round. They will have a long day tomorrow. Bottom line is you will have the contenders finishing up their third round on Sunday morning. And so if you're in contention, you're going to play a lot of golf on Sunday. You're going to finish up your third round as a leader on Sunday morning and then go back out later on Sunday afternoon, in the middle of the afternoon, to play your final round. So stamina is going to be critical. This is going to be all the cliches you hear with the U.S. Open: patience, perseverance, long climb up Everest, deal with bad breaks, deal with a couple of bogeys. You're going to need to make the 6-footer for a bogey. It's a different animal out here, and the public, I think, likes it, provided it's fair, that it doesn't go over the edge. And I don't think this one will. I think you're going to see green speeds climb throughout the weekend because it's softer than the USGA would like. So without the firm, fast track, what they'll do to push back against the low scores is get those green speeds up.
I think you forgot par is your friend, right, Rich? You forgot that.
Yeah, that's another cliche. That well, how about can we throw? He's got control of his golf ball here this afternoon. What? Have you ever had that?
Control of my golf ball? I found out, Rich, through many years of experience, that there's only one word the golf ball listens to, and it's only 4 letters. That's it. That's it. Every other.
I like to use the professional phrases. I played around December last year at Stream Zone, which is a great place in Florida, kind of like Bandon Dunes of Florida. But I had a caddy, and when you have a caddy, you sort of feel like a player, right? And so I hit my tee ball at number 1 left, and I sized it up at about 130 yards, whatever it was, and I turned to the caddy. I said, I think I'm going to flight a wedge. Flight a wedge. I hit a grounder 30 yards. I flighted it.
Yes.
No, we don't flight wedges. Although I've taken a page out of Jordan Spieth's book. I'm going with we and not I.
I like it.
When I come off the golf course now, I can say, we chunked 5 straight sand wedges today. We quack hooked 7 drives. We took a P on 14, should have taken it on 13 because we were downwind. We, not me. I love that.
I do like it. Rich Lerner of the Golf Channel joining me here. So based on, I guess, pin placement and or weather, from what you know, which would be better, to be like Spieth today and sit it out and finish up tomorrow, or be like Mickelson and Johnson to just finish and just get right back out there today and finish up?
Yeah, it's a good question. I probably would say today, because I think into tomorrow it's going to start to get firmer. So the guys playing 36 today, I think, will have at it, although Spieth will have the benefit of the USGA's setup, having to replicate the second round that Phil and Dustin will have played later this afternoon, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
So, but I think the guys out there today are going to have a little bit of an advantage. So that you'll hear us talk about the draw. So the guys who had the what they call the late early, late on day 1, that's Phil and Dustin. Early on day 2 are getting a little bit of an advantage here, and that happens, unfortunately, at these major championships. You see that a lot at a British Open and Open Championship, where wind conditions change radically from morning until afternoon. It's just part of the ball game.
And so you are saying that there's an opportunity potentially for someone to make a cut and make a 3rd round run at the leaders on Sunday before they make the 4th round run. There's no way that they're going to be able to get these players back on schedule before Sunday?
I don't think so. I think we're looking at, according to Mike Davis of the USG, I think we're looking at finishing the 3rd round on Sunday morning, the leaders finishing on Sunday morning, and that's just the way it goes. But the good news is the weather's great the rest of the way.
That's good.
And we should finish Sunday night, unless there's a tie, in which case you have the Monday playoff, and that's a whole other issue. It's not. I understand and respect the tradition. This is the national championship, and they feel as though it should be hard-earned. 18 holes to decide a playoff. Tiger beating Rocco in 2008 was dramatic. We all enjoyed it. But I think in the modern world, I think you want closure on a Sunday night. People want to get off, and they have jobs, and you want to finish that drama off right then and there. And so you have the 4-hole aggregate playoff or a 3-hole aggregate playoff, the way we have at the PGA Championship and the Open Championship, or sudden death, the way we have at the Masters.
Right.
So I'm in favor of that, but this is what it is, and I respect the tradition.
And lastly, Rich, just in case we are watching, as you, I guess, made mention, a Roy McIlroy in the making.
Yeah.
With Andrew Landry, we've obviously seen guys shoot up leaderboards and lead them after one round of a major and then fizzle out. Just introduce us to this young man, if in fact we are watching an incredible story unfold.
Right. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a guy who, as we said, he played a little 9-holer, think Tin Cup in Texas. He's not a big guy. He's 5'7", 150 pounds. So he's the proverbial boxer who punches above his weight. Didn't have a whole lot. He wasn't heavily recruited. He ended up going to the University of Arkansas. He was a straight hitter, not a long hitter, but he's added length. He played the mini tours, won for the first time on the Web.com tour last year in South America. So he's a PGA Tour rookie at 28, and he missed a bunch of cuts early. Best score prior to today was a 68. He is playing better, and statistically, there are a few aspects to like about his game, and he's confident. He told his dad he's going to win the U.S. Open, so he sort of created this really nice backstory. He's the long shot, the underdog. Typically in golf, people don't root for the underdog. It's sort of odd. People root for the favorites through the years. You want to see Nicklaus. You want to see Woods. You want to see Mickelson right there. But would it be kind of cool if Spieth and Mickelson and Dustin were there and Landry was with him? Yeah, that'd be a hell of a story.
Did you tell me he weighs as much as the trophy? Did I hear that number right about how much he weighs, Rich?
He does. Hey, and before you write him off, think about nobody knew who John Daly was.
Sure.
When he arrived in '91.
Of course.
Ben Curtis, in his first ever major championship, won the Open Championship, the British Open in 2003. Sean McKeel was a long shot. He's a professional tour player. He can go. He can shoot numbers, and it's unlikely that he'll hang. But stranger things have happened.
Stranger things. Thanks for joining me, Rich. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling into the show. We'll chat soon.
Thank you, Rich. Happy Father's Day to you and everyone else.
Same to you.
It's a couple days away. Thanks,
brother. Thank you. That's Rich Lerner.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.